Good evening, and bienvenue, my fond, fair friends, family, and subscribers. This is your humble narrator, Diomedes Rouge, here to bring you What If Naruto Had S.L.D.N.D.S? Oh, yes. Now, where we last left off, he was in the middle of a dungeon infested with spiders. Oh, and he just came across some equipment left behind by a former adventurer. And so, he delved further and further in, slaying and destroying anything that, well, dared pose a threat to him. Further and further he delved. He spent hours, days even. Yes, days. He set up his camp. He would eat his rations. But most importantly, he survived. He would be attacked from time to time as he rested. And yes, he did get cut up and scarred on a few different occasions. But he persisted. And that's whenever he finally came across an opening, a chamber, if you will. And in this chamber, before he entered, a warning flashed before him. Warning, you are about to enter the lair of the Spider Queen. Be prepared to die. Naruto just looked at it going, I won't die. I won't die here. As he quickly backs away for a brief moment to prepare, he was able to find a few arrows, as well as figure out good ways of fighting against the hordes of spiders. He found out they really don't like fire. And so, he came up with an ingenious way to save himself some trouble, pardon me a moment. To save himself a bit of time and effort. The oil he carries. He took some of the oil and coated his blade as he ignited it, causing it to spring forth in a brilliant blaze. As the long sword shimmered, he knew it wouldn't last for long as he charged into the lair. And there he saw it, in all its massive glory. The Spider Queen, larger than any spider he's seen up till this point. The standard ones, they're as big as mastiffs. But this beast, this queen, she was bigger than a house. She was deadly, and she was pissed on him entering her territory. And so, Naruto prepared to fight. As she lunged forward, hissing and screeching, slashing at him with her legs, trying to impale him upon the tips as he dodged and moved around her, cutting away at her legs, hoping, praying that the fire that he possessed would kill her, or at least engulf her in flames, and he wasn't wrong. Because as he dove underneath and slashed at the legs, the oils coating the spider's natural body ignited. And oh, did it burn! It always burns. She tried trapping him in the webbing, but the oil that coats the webbing burns away at the mere, well, touch of flame. The mere kiss of fire turns the silken threads that are stronger than steel into nothing more than a flash and ash. As Naruto moves, but he realizes something. His sword, the oil that coats it, is going dark. He only has a few more seconds, and he chooses it to run straight on, to use everything he has, all the acrobatic skill he's developed, and he jumps straight onto the spider's abdomen, crawling up top of it while backhanding his sword, impaling the spider over and over, impaling the queen's abdomen as it singes and scorches it. The flames coat the entire beast as it screeches as he's forced to fall back, as he's forced to jump off. But the Spider Queen is not done yet. Coated in flames, it charges him for one more frantic attack. But Naruto stands his ground, for he's been saving something special just for this. He puts both his hands together, waits for it to get close as it raises its arm, as it raises its front legs to bring it down, to impale him. As he moves forward, getting right next to its face. And in that moment, he says, "Burning hands." And a brilliant, bright cone of flames ignites from his hands, incinerating the spider's head and body. And after that brilliant display of acrobatic strength and intelligence, he falls to a knee. He gasps for air. As all of a sudden, "Congratulations, you have cleared the den of the Spider Queen. Would you like to leave this dungeon now?" That's it. That's all I get. As he walks over and grabs his sword. At least I walk away with something. As he goes to leave. However, upon leaving, he does not go back to the entrance of, well, the tree that he walked into. No. He goes somewhere else completely different. He goes into the White Room, where he woke up to so very long ago. Pardon me one moment. As upon him getting there, he sees the bar of experience suddenly begin to jump straight to level 4. As he goes, "What the hell?" As the glowing white sphere begins to explain. "What'd you expect? You challenged a dungeon. Did you truly believe that you would get more powerful while you were still in there? No. The dungeons are designed to test the mettle of anyone that crawls into them. Upon you exiting, that is when you get your experience." So you're saying, yes, you met the requirements to advance in level a long time ago. In fact, upon you leveling up from there, I believe you may have another one just ready for you. He goes, wow, that's nice. Can I get a... Relax, your body will be healed soon. Take a rest. As suddenly, a large bed appears in front of him. He goes, but what about time has paused in your original world? Go to sleep. And so Naruto does. He sleeps. And upon him waking, his body feels full of energy, fully relaxed as he digs into some of the rations he has. The heavily salted meat, the cheese, the bread. As he's learned to break them apart and mix them together to be more palatable. As he's looking through his, well, abilities, he realizes there are several marks with red exclamation points going, what are all these? Things you did not properly fill. Marks left empty. Empty? What do you mean empty? You rushed. You did not choose properly. As suddenly several more red exclamation marks appear. He goes, okay, how do I fix this? Relax. Take things one at a time. As he examines the first one. Would you like to finalize this character? What? What does this mean? Would you like to finalize? You have reached level 4. Upon doing so, all adventurers get a chance for one redo, one do-over. If they don't like their current abilities, if they don't like their current, well, form, physique, they're allowed to change them, alter them. Even completely redesign them, change classes. As Naruto thinks, that could be useful. As he searches through, he looks over all the other classes: Artificer, Bard, Rogue, Ranger, Paladin, Wizard, Warlock, Sorcerer, Druid. And then he gets back to Fighter. I actually like this. I actually have gotten used to this. And trying to get used to something else would be possibly a bit dangerous where I'm currently at. I'll stick with what I know. As then he goes through, wait, what does this mean? Race, background. As upon him looking through the races, goes, wait, elf, orc, tabaxi, Arakak, what are all these? As he eventually has to spend a few hours looking through all of them, and he goes, so you're saying if I choose any of these things, you will begin to look like them on your real world as well? Be like, yeah, no thank you. Like, I think I could probably pass off the whole elven thing, but I'm not gonna risk that. Are you sure? They have virtually unlimited lifespans. Yeah, but then I'm gonna have to explain to people why my ears suddenly turned to knife points. Fair point. Wait. Variant human? What is this? Variant human. A variant species upon the standard human species. Might want to check it out further. As he does, and he realizes, so I'm your standard basic person. But the variant, from what it says, so if I switch over, I'd lose a 1 in all of my stats. But gain ability. Do I get to pick the ability? Yes. Goes, this hurts my head. As he does the whole everything that every D&D player has done. Grab his head in pain and try and go, what the hell do I do? It was okay, just... As he begins to look through it further. And after looking through the abilities, he says, alright, I'll become a variant. And upon saying this, are you sure you wish to become a variant? Yes. Doing so will decrease all of your stats by 1 point. Do you still wish to do so? Yes. Upon him confirming this, please grit your teeth. Wait. Because he agreed to do that, his DNA is now being restructured. And that is very, very intensive pain. That hurts. As upon him completing that, the real fun now begins. As he picks up the ability called Warcaster. I'll tell you more about that later if y'all really want. Now, combine that with him going, okay, what does this background mean? As he looks through it, goes current background, folk hero? Folk hero. Why does it say my current background's a folk hero? As he begins to look through it. Pardon me one moment. Naruto Uzumaki. Young man who wishes to become Hokage of his village. Unknown son to Minato Namikaze, the 4th Hokage. What? He grew up in a harsh life and environment due to the fact that everyone despises him. All the adults despise him because of the fact that he's a Jinchuriki, also known as a wielder of the 9-tailed fox, or wielder of a tailed beast, his being the 9-tailed fox demon. What? Wait. What is all this? It is your current background. Your life. If you wish, you can switch to something different. What? Are you saying I could rewrite history? No. Some things will stay as a matter of fact. Your father is Minato Namikaze. You are what they would call a Jinchuriki. However, there are certain things that can be added and switched. For instance, if you don't wish to keep helping this village, you can do so. You can change your morality, change your alignment, change your everything. You can walk out of here a completely different person than the Naruto Uzumaki that you are. If you wished, you could set forth a path of destruction upon your own town. What? Why would I? I'm letting you know what you can do. I'm not telling you what to do. I do not care as long as you complete doing the task that I set before you. As long as you complete diving into the dungeons. As long as you complete destroying them. Upon you completing them, I do not care what you do in your world. That is up for you to decide. As he looks forward into it, hated by the leaf because of the nine-tailed fox demon laying inside of him, rejected by everyone because of something he couldn't control nor had any say in. He still retains his childlike smile and happy-go-lucky attitude despite him being... I don't want to read anymore. As he begins to tear up. My father is the fourth? Why didn't anyone tell me? As he begins to look through other things. Fighting style. I don't use a lot of these, so becoming harder to hit sounds pretty good to me. And so he chooses defensive. Then he gets back to his background and he just... He looks through a few of the others. They kept this from me. They kept everything from me. No more. I won't be the same foolish kid anymore. As he looks at his current alignment, lawful good. What do these all mean? Alignments. It's a way of a person's it's the way a person thinks, acts, how they utilize their emotions to rationalize their opinions. People who think in the way of lawful good are generally more willing to, well, try and assist everyone else in spite of their own, well, happiness and or risks that may come to them. Lawful evil, self-centeredness that follow the rules that they have made, or the rules of someone that someone has made for them, as long as it suits their desires. Chaotic good, a being that wants to do good, but does so in a chaotic fashion, primarily for the right reasons, but can bring forth ill intentions if, well, pushed too far, or, worst case, accidental. Chaotic evil, a person that doesn't care and just wishes to spread chaos for the fun of it. Lawful neutral, a person who follows the laws of their land or their laws completely without question. Same thing for... Alright. Chaotic neutral. A person that wishes to just spread chaos in either good or bad form. They may rob a person 1 minute just to give it to an orphanage the next. They follow their own guidelines. And true neutral. A party that thinks upon what they're deciding and then chooses the path best suited for them. Usually they are more emotionally deadened to the world, or at least appear to be. Is there any way to change this later? Possibly. There are several things you can do to change your alignment. In that case, right now, I'd like to be a bit deadened to these emotions I'm feeling. And he switches it to true neutral. As that sweet smile fades off of him, his expressions become a bit more dark, a bit monotone. That's better. Finally, some clarity. As he pops his neck. What's next? As he chooses through the spell lists and he goes, right. And upon finishing up that, he gets another notification. Congratulations, you have leveled up again. Interesting. Upon doing so, oh shit, I forgot to mention, 4th level, he picked up another ability, Sentinel. Oh well, y'all find out more about those later. But for now, he has 2 major abilities, Sentinel and Warcaster. Things are about to get a lot more fun for him. Pardon me one moment. As he examines these and he goes, very well. I believe I know what I'm doing now. Oh, yes. As he picks up another spell to choose from, another spell added to his lists. And upon completing that and solidifying his character, at this point, he now gets another notification. Oh yes. Attention. You have now reached level 5. You have now access to DM Shop. DM Shop. Dungeon Master's Shop. Able to purchase and sell items from your inventory or from your bag of holding at any time. As he opens it up and sees the metric crap ton of stuff available, he goes, oof, that's a lot. As he currently looks through all the loot he has, and he goes, several direwolf pelts, goblin spears and clubs, spider hides, spider eyes, spider eyes, spider eyes, spider eggs, spider eggs, spider eggs, spider... There's a lot of spiders. I killed a lot of spiders. I did not realize I killed that many. Queen spider egg, queen spider eyes. Holy crap. As he realizes the amount of money he currently has in his inventory, well, he currently has altogether 2,857 gold, and he goes, what the hell? How did I get that From your current amount of experience as well as combat training, he says, huh. Well, considering I have no use for any of this material, I'm just gonna sell all of that. And that price jumps up to 3,857 gold. And he goes, that's always very useful. So what can I buy for all of this? As he begins to look through it, as he says, oh, that's gonna be useful. Pardon me? That's gonna be useful. As he examines everything, goes, I may have lost a little bit of dexterity earlier, but I put what I did get into strength. So, let's see here. My dexterity isn't too bad, and I don't think walking around in plate mail would be too good in my current world. But half plate should be reasonable. As he, gets a suit of half plate put in his inventory. And as soon as it gets there, he immediately puts it on. As the mail and, you begin to see something akin to what he's got on in the picture here. Not bad, not bad. Light, but not too light. Maneuverable, not too clunky. This is gonna be fun. As he examines further and sees, ring of spell storage. Now this will come in handy. As he grabs that as well. He's now down to just over 500. What else to pick? What else to pick? What else to pick? Well, let's see here. I am a fighter and I have range, so I don't need to worry about bow and arrow anymore. As he sells that. So, I know the perfect thing. As he picks up the Warcaster's Ruby and attaches it to his, newest longsword. Now what does this allow him to do? It basically makes it to where the weapon that it's attached to can act as his spell casting device. Essentially making it to where he can now not only cast spells from his hands, but from his blade as well. This will come in most handy. Run one person through, and then use burning hands to ignite the person on the other side of it. A good human shield theory. Oh, speaking of shields, I may want to pick up one. Never know when that can come in handy. Something to block possible arrows, maybe. As he looks through the catalog and goes, ooh, I like that one. The lantern shield. That seems like it'll come in handy for dungeon delving. Or smacking Sasuke or Kiba across the head from time to time. As he takes out, and purchases that. At this moment, he just smiles and just goes, now this is a lot. As he begins to check out some of the other items and just goes, I'll restock my current gear and be on my, how long can I stay here? As long as you require. Oh, that's perfect. Oh, why so? Well, you see, I'm about to enter a fight in where I'm currently from, and if I'm not careful, it could kill me. However, I do think with a bit of this time that you have for me, I could put it to good use, as he puts on his ring. Oh, and how's that? Well, I just bought a fancy new ring from you. How do you think? As a wicked grin begins to smile and form on his face, and he goes, very well. Use as much time as you require. As well, Naruto spends the next well, in all honesty, a couple of days there, focusing and attuning the gear he has to him, bonding it with his spirit itself, at least the ring, as he practices and trains and hones a more proper technique with that long sword and shield that he has. As he goes, oh yes, this is gonna work to my favor most egregiously. After a few days, he says, all right, old friend, I'll see you again. As he is released with his shiny new armor, shiny new shield, and restored and now very shiny sword with a ruby encased in the hilt. But he removes all that. He calls it off, allowing himself to appear in his standard orange tracksuit. Or rather, I should say his... Well, I say he calls off the weaponry. We'll go that far. He keeps the half plate on, because, honestly, I'm thinking you guys want to see the reactions they'll have on their face to him appearing like that. As he was right. Nothing has changed. Time stood still. For the entire span he was gone, time was still. He's realized that a lot of things have changed with him. He's not as lean as he once was. He's a bit more muscular, slightly taller. He gets a spring in his step as he walks back. That's where Kakashi notices him come in. And he goes, Naruto, what the hell? What's the matter, Sensei? Where did you get that? As he looks upon at the new shiny half plate, and he says, I found it. You found that. Pardon me if I don't believe you, it's just... Relax, Sensei, I didn't kill anyone for it, nor did I steal it. This is mine. I promise you that. Could you at least tell me where you were? Come on, Naruto. Come on, Naruto. Tell me what's going on. Where were you? Okay, I'll gladly tell you. As soon as you tell me, why didn't you... As soon as you and everyone else tells me, why no one told me that my father was Minato Namikaze? What? Oh, I know. You didn't think I would find out that my father was the fourth? The lightning blade? The fourth, the yellow flash, the... the one shinobi that killed 1,000 other shinobi. You didn't think I would find that out? When you reveal your secrets, I'll reveal mine. As Naruto walks off, and Kakashi is left speechless. As the next day arrives and Naruto is getting an itch, a sense of wanting, a sense of craving for a fight. He doesn't talk, not with the kid, not with the grandson, or anything. He lets the grandson think whatever he thinks. He doesn't care. Why should he? The grandson wants to be an idiot, let him be an idiot. If the grandfather wants to act like a coward, let him act like a coward. If he wants to act brave, let him act brave. Naruto only cares about one thing: completing his job and getting paid. As upon them all awakening, Shikamaru and Hinata just ask, "Whoa, Naruto, what's with the new duds?" Yeah, Naruto, you look, nice. As, well, Naruto just states, found some good stuff last night while I was walking around. Fit me pretty well, so I decided to wear it. Really? Yeah. Pardon me if I don't believe you, it's just, relax. No need to worry, Shikamaru. I didn't steal it nor kill anyone for it. But what I do in my spare time is, quite frankly, my business. Fair point. As Shikamaru just kind of shrugs his shoulders and carries on. As Hinata now has the whole knight in shining armor thing going on. As sooner or later, it's now time for the bridge fight. And yes, I know I'm bringing this to a head a little bit sooner than usual, but what can I say? You all deserve it. And thanks to Naruto's current way of thinking, well, let's just put it this way. There isn't no need for him to make things more complicated. But of course, upon them getting there, Zabuza, as well as the masked person from earlier, is, well, there as well. As Naruto begins to crack his knuckles and pop his back, telling Shikamaru, "You got a plan?" Not at the moment, no. Good. I'll hold him off while you come up with one. As Kakashi says, "What do you think you're doing? What do you mean hold them off?" "Simple, boss. I've been doing a bit of practicing since we last talked. And while I admit I can't walk on water like y'all can," as all of a sudden the large force starts running towards him, "I don't really need to when I can do stuff like this." As he snaps his fingers. And as he snaps his fingers, and all of a sudden, a large 15-foot by 35-foot line of grease appears under everyone's feet that's charging. Oh yes, this is a spell that Naruto learned. Grease. 15 by 30-foot area. Call forth a large trail of grease upon the earth. And 90% of those sons of guns fail, slipping and falling and busting their butts. But at the same point in time, the ones that don't then trip and fall over their comrades. But that's not where Naruto's ending it, because just like standard grease, this magical substance is also flammable. As Naruto lowers his hands and says, Firebolt, and a small fireball forms in his hand, lunging forward, igniting the grease, immediately causing it to erupt in flames. And anyone that was coated in it, anyone that fell down into it, is now suddenly wrapped in an agonizing pain and fury as the fire rages. Oh, how painful it is. A lot try and jump into the water to escape the torment. Others try to put themselves out by rolling, but this is a grease fire. And your best bet for a grease fire is certainly not water. For as they dive into it, more and more bubbles and explosions begin as the fire continues to rage on them. As Naruto just gets a little smile going, who's next? Little bastard! As more charge and Naruto goes, oh, y'all. As he looks at his ring and gives it a little twist. And all of a sudden, more grease appears on that bridgeway. They all suddenly stop, realizing what will happen if they don't. But at that same point in time, as they stop, Naruto smiles. Bad move. As he launches a firebolt dead at them, impacting one of their faces, catching it ablaze as they are forced to jump into the water themselves as Zabuza's had enough and charges through. He runs through at a speed to where he carves through the grease as Naruto smiles. You're approaching me, huh? Bad mistake. Warcaster ability activated. Sentinel ability activated. Huh? As upon that time, he's immediately able to cast another spell. Scorching Ray. And this one is very, very familiar. Burning Hands. As upon Zabuza's approach, he's blasted with a heavy force that completely stuns him. A heavy force of fire that wraps him up in a cloak of flame. And unlike before, where he would simply dodge out of the way, this one, it takes the wind out of his sails. It completely stops him in his tracks. As Naruto walks up, Sentinel ability. Whenever someone would come within my attack range, I immediately stop their movement and make a counterattack. Warcaster. If anyone were to come into range, if anyone were to make got tongue-tied. If anyone were to give me an attack of opportunity, say with something that was provided with the Sentinel, I can immediately switch that option to a magical-based attack. In other words, just by getting close to me, you made yourself my target. As Zabuza still has enough strength left to swing his blade, as Naruto blocks it with his new shield that he summons forth out of the ether. What the hell? You like? Well, so do I. As he takes the shield, and with the spike gauntlet that's attached to it, sends it forth, punching Zabuza dead in the face, sending him backwards into the now inflamed grease behind him as he lands on his ass. How he now wrapped in flames as he's forced to, well, as he's forced to call forth water and coat himself in the hidden mists. As Naruto laughs. Some demon of the mist can't even handle a little fire as he brings forth his sword. This is gonna be fun. As Shikamaru, Hinata, and Kakashi are all stunned at this, going, what the hell happened to Naruto? This is not the same kid we know. As Naruto quickly shouts back, have you come up with a plan yet? Right, Hinata, use your Byakugan. And she does. And she's able to locate two enemies coming towards them. One of them obviously Zabuza, but the other one is that masked Anbu. As Naruto smiles. Good. Hey, Sensei, I don't have many shots of that left. I don't think I could do that many more times. Would you mind lending a hand, or you want to sit on your ass? As Kakashi lunges forward, being, don't get cocky, kid. And right soon as there, Hinata says, in front of you! And Kakashi is able to just barely see Zabuza coming in for a hit, blocking his blade. And now the two Anbu level threats are fighting along each other, clashing and slashing at one another. As Naruto then refocuses his attention straight onto the masked Anbu. As all of a sudden, he's surrounded by crystal ice mirrors. Is this supposed to affect me? Make me freak out? Go on, do your worst, as he waits patiently. Not trying to lunge, just waiting, watching. As he gets inside the mirrors and begins to throw Sinbone from seemingly any direction, but they all just bounce off his half plate as if they were nothing. And what tries to go for his face, his exposed face, is blocked by his shield. As he goes, this is getting boring. As whenever they make one more move, trying to sneak up behind him. Gotcha. Boom. As, well, a firebolt comes out and blasts this person right in their gut. Naruto doesn't know who this is. He doesn't care. All he knows is that they are in his way. As the person stumbles back, he takes his sword, spins it around, and removes their head cleanly. As the person falls, he begins to walk forward to the rest of the bandits, the rest of the gangsters. He swings his sword, wiping the blood off the blade with the momentum. And he goes, next victim. All of them are beginning to get scared as Zabuza reels at the sheer fact that his comrade has died. Lunging forward, trying to get to Naruto, exposing his back. As that's when Shikamaru, Shadow Possession Jutsu, catches him and holds him still as Kakashi binds him. Oh no, Zabuza ain't dying here. Nah, that'd be too simple. Yeah, Kakashi binds him As Naruto, they look on and see him fighting like a true, like they don't, never seen these techniques because it's not taijutsu. This is how a knight fights. This is how an eldritch knight fights. As the enemies get closer, trying to attack him even harsher and more crazed, he blocks their impending attacks, countering and slashing, moving even faster than they can see, or rather faster than Hinata and Shikamaru can see at one point. But Kakashi, he can follow these movements and he can tell something's off about them. Something doesn't seem right as he is slicing and dicing through these men. And at one point when it seems as if he's about to be attacked from behind, Hinata yells, but right before she's able to finish, he flips his blade around, stabs the man in the gut, spins him around, and using his sword from the ends of it, erupts a large pool of fire as he says, "Burning hands," or in this case, blade, as the magical energy goes through it and erupts from the other side, incinerating not only the man who's already impaled, but also the group of men that tried to come after him, that tried to attack him. As Naruto pulls the blade out of the burnt corpse and just proceeds to walk ever closer to the big bad gangster. He holds his blade up to him. You can either surrender quietly or end up like the rest of your men. Which do you choose? Gato trembles. He's scared. This one kid took out most of his forces. They've locked up their demon, as well as that crazy kid that could use ice. He gladly surrenders, begging for his life. Naruto takes his shield and he slams the spiked gauntlet into his face, rendering him unconscious and dragging him back. As Kakashi says, was that really necessary? Made me feel better. What happened? It's like you changed overnight. What can I say? Learning the truth about what I am would do that to anyone. It's quite sobering when you say, Kakashi Sensei, as he begins to walk off, sheathing his sword. As he goes to Shikamaru and Hinata. Good work, you guys. Thanks. I'm glad I could count on you to have my back. Sorry I didn't tell you about, well, what I could do, but to be honest, I wanted it to be a surprise. Naruto. Yeah? You killed people. We're ninjas, aren't we? Shinobi? That's kind of our job. To kill. At the end of the day, we're hired killers, just like Zabuza. Only difference, we supposedly do it for a nation, while he did it just for himself. And with a little smirk on his face and a happy look in his eyes, he walks off. As Kakashi is forced to carry Zabuza while holding the blade. as well as carrying the blade on his back. And that's when Naruto, the Uzumaki Bridge became a thing. And I'll end it here, folks. I hope you all enjoyed. I hope you like this little this little route I'm taking with them. I mean, after all, if you found out that you weren't just some orphan, but you were the orphan of the former Hokage, and you lived like shit because everyone hated what was lurking inside of you, you might ask for some relief too from all the painful emotions. But the only problem is, that was where his moral compass laid. So what's going to happen from now on with Naruto? Will he gain it back? Or will he stay with this mindset? I don't know. Let's see what you guys think. Have fun.